Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Salam PKD Tuaran, leading the change. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker today, who is going to share and giving tips on how to excel in SPM English paper. This is a subject in which we should all be deeply interested because it will be helpful for the students to pass their paper. Before introducing our speaker today, kindly please be informed that registration link for the teachers and certificate links for the students will be shared 30 minutes before end of the session. Now, going back to our speaker, she is a School of One Specialist Coach for Language, degree in TESOL, with 30 years experience as teacher at secondary school since 1990. She is also actively involved as coach, speaker, and workshop facilitator. With all due respect, please join me in welcoming Puan Norlina on binti Abdullah from PPD Petaling Perdana, Selangor.
Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to all students and teachers. I'm Norlina and it is a great pleasure to be able to be with PPD Tuaran. Hi students, hi teachers. So I hope today's session will be useful and will be helpful to all the students in targeting your aims. We are pushing, we have a lot of time. We are now in June, so your SPM will be in March next year, as well as I hope there are students also in Form 4, and consider that this session is not just purely for SPM, but it's also to upgrade your English. So as for teachers, I will be sharing some approaches that you can apply in your teaching. And as for students, I'm going to expose to you anything that from SPM marking to SPM tips that will help you to understand how are you going to get your A's. Okay, so what are the problems faced by you and your students? Most of the time we have no idea. We don't know what to do, what to write. We don't have the confidence. Maybe we can write very well. We can write. Our English is good enough. We have enough grammatically. We are correct. But what gives you what makes it different from other students? How are you to get your A's? So these are the things that you need to do. Okay. First thing, we're gonna unpack some questions, SPM questions. You're gonna see there's a lot of trend and there are some themes. SPM questions has no repetition. That means they normally don't repeat. Only one or two questions repeated. That's all over the period of 20 years. You need some background knowledge. So some of you are in Sabah, some of you are in Tuaran, might not have the exposure of the city life, or maybe of a criminal life or an accident, things that are bad, but then you need some knowledge of it. So you got to think, you got to act as though you are not just a 17-year-old, because when you read, your background knowledge might not be enough. So you need to add the background knowledge. So teachers, we can't blame the students. They are only 17. They're young, so they have no experience out in the real world. But we bring the real world to them. We bring the outside world to them through our lessons. So how much can you explore? How far do you go in your essays? Do you take the risk to write something that is not normal, something that is not expected? What do you think? Is it a yes or a no? I guess it's a yes. You can. There's a chat in this column, so you can put your chats there. You can put your questions there. Maybe our moderator later will. I'll go through the questions and we will see what we can explore. I can answer. I can help you So if you have any questions, anything that you want to know, just type in the chat, okay? Comments column. All right, so I'm going to unpack the questions for you first, before we actually unpack the marking scheme. When we unpack the marking scheme, we are talking about what is expected in by the, what do you call it, by the examiners, the markers. What gives you the A, what puts you in a band, a B band. Most of you are getting maybe 30 marks. Is it enough to give you an A? So give it a try, and you get to see the question, you get to see the marking scheme. If you don't see the marking scheme, you won't understand what gives you the 45 marks, the 35 marks. Why are you just 50 marks? Okay, so when you unpack the question, you unpack the marking scheme, you will be able to understand what's missing in your essay. Okay, what you should do and what you must not do. I think also that you need to that you don't do it. Essay lacking. Okay, your paper one. All right, I'm gonna focus on paper one mostly, but later I'll touch a little bit on paper two because we have about 1 hour class. So oh, students, don't just listen. Take some notes so that you're active. Write down something. Okay. All right. Next. Okay, further up, further down. All right. We're gonna unpack the questions first. So you'll be seeing an analysis of since 1998 to 2019. Okay. What I'm showing you now are the questions. Let's say in 2017, there are descriptions. There's also stories. There are also factual essays where you have a little bit of comparison, argumentative. There's descriptive. You describe things. Okay, you describe. So 2017 was a place, and it talks about another place in another part of the country. So students, read the question properly. It says another part of Malaysia. So if you were to write another part of the world, you are considered out of topic, and your marks will be brought down to an E, which is about 20 marks, even though you write perfect essay. Or maybe even go worse if your story is really out. So do unpack the question. Understand what is the question about. 2018 is talking about a problem while you were traveling. So if you talk about traveling with no problems, then you will end up with also irrelevant. So you will be marked down. So talk about travel, a problem, that's a problem. While you were at school, you are also out. So underline the keywords. All right. Then only you write your essay. The second part of the essay will ask you to explain the problems. You need to explain the problem. The third part of the essay talks about what you learned from the experience. So you have to talk about what you learned. So you've got place, you've got events. Last year was about a person. So a person, what's good for a person, what's being, who you want to be. So this year, I don't think people will come out. So are we going back to place? Maybe time. Okay, so you have to understand what's possible to come out. Because teachers, we don't have the time to teach our students everything. So we need to teach smartly. Students, you need to learn smartly. So look up for words to talk about time. So if you're talking about time, let's talk about time. Change time. So what would you, if you go back in the past, what would you change? Which part of your life would you change? So you're only 17 years old. Maybe you cannot change much yet. So you have to imagine you are already 50 years old. Then you change your past. So that's where imagination comes in. Talk about an event that inspired you. So you have to talk about something, a place, a time where something happened and it inspires you, it gives you motivation. So think about that. So I'm just guessing what's coming up. So maybe teachers, when you're teaching, you can start planning towards that kind of question for description. So this is called analysis of the questions. I'm not even writing the questions yet, just the title. From the title, we develop it. So we're going to show you, I'm going to show you the whole analysis. So I hope you can see the screen. This is as large as can go. All materials will be shared to Dr. BT in PPD Tuaran. And for anybody else who's not from PPD Tuaran, you can get in touch with me through my Facebook or through your PPD. Okay, so if you look at the questions, none of it is repeated. We have done school, we have done home, we've done food, we've done challenges in life, enjoyable weekend in 2006, an embarrassing moment. So let's go a little bit further, not too far back. Let's go 2010. You've got the most student in school. You've got your favorite teacher as well. You've got your future husband. So those kinds of questions will not be repeated. Okay. So what about factual essays? We've got saving money. We've already got examinations. So it won't come. It might not come up. It might not come up. If it does come out, I do apologize for saying so. It might not come up. Okay. 2015, social networking. So chances of it, social networking, Facebook and all that sort of thing. Social media has not come up, but social networking has come up. Okay, so when you get this, you get to see, analyze it, what's not out yet. So students, what I'm saying here is there's no need for you to practice a particular question that's already in the past year. Simple as that. Because if you were to practice something that is already out in the exam, it will be a waste of your time. Okay, so you just have to look for questions that are not here. So let's go a bit further down to 2020. Okay, I'm guessing, okay, time, I'm guessing things, no more people, maybe not description. I'm guessing family, events on family, love, family, talking about development, talking about identity. I will talk to be of the SPM syllabus. So you have a look at the topic, and then you have topics like gadgets and all that. So teaches you don't go too far, like agriculture, economics, maybe too high for our country. About okay, hold on. Okay. I need to share another screen for to do your vocabulary. I'm going to show you my from it. It's not very fast, about 10 months. Okay, you need to understand what It's different between a C and an A, a B. C is the so you need to know what a C is not about vocabulary must be wide. So let's see, it's only vocabulary wide. You need to count, you need to get your students to repeat the words, you need to write sentences with those words, practice using the words. Most of us are, well, let's say, we're not born naturally with English. Okay, we are all second language users. That means we use VM, we use Tamil, we know it. So we need to do it the hard. There's no natural way to go out, but to do it the hard way. There's lots and lots of writing down. Take notes, put it down into your little exercise books. Carry a book around with you, a small book in your pocket where you write down this. It's a simple structure. That means short and long sentences and complex sentences. I'll show you. It's very easy. You just need to repeat and to read. But how do you make it into easy? Here's scale about complex. Here's very short and long. It has its effects. So you don't have to always use short. Okay, what's the difference between the vocabulary of a B and the vocabulary of hold on, a vocabulary of of an A. Hold on. Okay, an A vocabulary, you need to add a little bit of idioms, a little of proverbs, a little of quotations, some figurative language. Raining cats and dogs are common. Try not to use it. So, birds of a feather, flock together. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. I do apologize if the lines is hanging or interrupted. Let's pray that the lines will be smooth throughout the whole. Vocabulary must be wide and precise. How do you develop that? Let's pick a topic first. Hold on. Okay, let me go back to the screen. Let's see. Nervous. It's also my first time doing live. So welcome to. Okay, let's see live. Okay, hold on. Where was I? Here. No, done with this. Done with this. Okay, vocabulary topic. I have a few topics here. That is, I will choose on friendship. It's a very easy topic because friends are friends. Let's talk about friends so that we can get a good storyline. A good storyline about our friends, a good storyline about accidents. Why accidents? Because it's about things that are bad that's happening, family stories. You just collect a few stories. It's a very easy thing to do. You're always online. So you just go to your Google. So let's go to Google, and you key in the word family. I key in the word family. So that's right. Stories on friendship. Done. Once you've got that, you just select anything. So I'm going to select heartwarming stories, true friends, a Reader's Digest. It just triggers you some ideas about friendship and stories. Okay, so you just need to go online. There's no need to prepare much. Okay, here's talking about a family. I grew up with a family that didn't show any affection. Isn't that nice? The story of it hits the reader. All the time you're talking about happy stories. So he's talking about a family with no affection. Didn't show any love. The word love and the word affection. Which word is better? You have to always say uh, the word that's not common. So affection is a better word. Short, long, one simple sentence. I knew I was loved, but this is already a complex sentence. But it was rarely expressed. Elaborate more, either in words or how. So this sentence itself is already long. Not just long, but has different parts. I was loved, but not expressed. Then the next sentence. Then, at the age of 40, you see the story. You're 17, but you're writing about 40-year-old woman, as a 40-year-old woman or man. So always go a little bit out of the normal life of a student. Like, you don't just talk about friendship, about your friends in school. I met Judy. Now, who's Judy? I quickly noticed how often she told her kids she loved them. Normal. And she added, so N makes it a compound sentence, two sentences. So it just you have two ideas, combine it. Three ideas, combine it. So they learn to write complex sentences. How she hugged everyone and said hello and goodbye. So just by reading these three sentences, you are beginning to imagine a family about Judy. Two families, one with no affection and one that hugs and says goodbye and hello to everybody. So when you are looking for stories, don't just go one straight story. Always come back. As an habit I picked up, the more I do so, the easier for me. Now I never fail to hug families. This is a very short story about friendship, about family. So from Judy, she learned to hug, she learned to love. She started off with a very sad story. There is no affection. Didn't show the affection. Okay. Next one, you have another story about husband. You are all not married. You are only 17 years old, but you have to write a little bit out of the story. So again, I repeat, try not to write as a 17-year-old student. If the question is about who's your best friend and you talk about your best friend, it's your past. And I have another story that talks about my best friend, my 2-year-old daughter. So which story would make it more interesting? I have a best friend. My best friend is the homeless man who sleeps by the road in front of my office. So every morning I will sit and have breakfast with him. And I have another story about my best friend who's my classmate and I go to the canteen and have breakfast with her. So which story is a better story? Which story will attract the reader? The reader will be your examiner, or the reader will be whoever reads your story. So try to think of something that is different. So, but not the birth of my baby girl. So you are going to have a baby girl. But this one, there must always be a problem in the story to make it interesting. So this one has club feet, no toes, no father. And this is marked the beginning of a series of long doctor's appointments. So imagine. So you have to read out a little bit about some problems, some insecurities, some handicap. in order for you to create a story that will get the students, the teacher's interest or the examiners. So she has a problem. Problem is taking care of two young children. One who is very sick and one who is running around. She has to do the household job. So look at this sentence. This long sentence, one sentence has three parts. Young children, attention. Tired. Why is it tired? Household. So teachers always ask them for contrast, ask them for compare. So for example, um, I'm very happy today. I'm very excited. I feel comfortable. And let's contrast it. Even though I did not sleep the whole night long, burning the midnight oil, preparing for today's session. So you are tired and yet you're happy. Okay. You are hungry and yet you are not eating. Why? Because you don't want to eat. You don't have the time to go out and eat. So you don't trust them. Okay, sorry. Okay, that's it. So read short stories. I won't go too long on this. Part of this part. Any questions so far? You can write on the chat so that I can see the questions. Yeah. Is any questions? Live code. Teresa, hi Teresa. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Sarina, hi. Good vibes. Yeah, good vibes. Hmm. Okay, hello everyone. Melody Khan here. Hi, Melody. Melody is from my PPD Petaling Perdana. So, welcome everybody. And okay, hi Teresa. Any questions so far about stories? Okay, first, you get your stories. Then, now what do you do with stories? Get your ideas with get your vocab. What do you do? You are online with this stories that you have been reading, heartwarming stories. So let's go to what do you do with the story? Again, I repeat, try not to, we are looking at the sentence structure, we're looking at the words. So let's say this is a simple exercise for teachers. We're all going to school, so there's no excuse that you don't know what to write, you don't know where to go, okay? So let's take for an example. I'm going to write about, I'm not going to practice, I'm going to write about stories that heartwarming stories that make the heart. Okay? So for example, you have an exercise book. So you had your intro, three boxes like this, right? Three columns like this. Okay, see? So I'm going to go back to the heartwarming story. Okay, just let's you know, inspiring. Yes. There are many types of practicing how nice one. Practicing how all you do is copy and go back to the words. You know what's health and well-being? Okay, so the words copy. Now you write Hi, I'm back. Sorry for the interruption earlier. The line problem, as usual. We do have this technical glitches that we need to attend to. So again, teachers and friends, from a reading article, that we read, we just have to grasp a few lines and words and let our students practice. So for example, I'm going to take another one here. This is a three-part sentence. So you're going to teach your students how to write a three-part sentence. So copy the sentence from anywhere that you're just reading. Ask them to copy it again. Okay. Then ask for a new sentence. Let's try. Taking care of my two young children. So we have two things. One who constantly required constant medical attention. That means I'm tired and behind, and I'm always tired and behind. Taking two what? Taking what? Two classes, two tuitions, two classes, teaching two classes, teaching. Okay, I'm going to be a teacher now. I'm a 50-year-old teacher. Teaching two classes of Form 5 students. One of which the class in our home required constant, a lot, constant preparation. Meant that I was always tired and have to what? And have to what, teachers? And have to be behind a laptop. So I'm doing two sentences of the same, just that you're practicing. So maybe you can get your students to write three sentences. So the third column is to add ideas to it, to develop it, to make it longer by adding. Give me the details of this from 5 classes. What kind of preparation do you have to do? So you add it behind, add more ideas. So you have 3 columns, one to copy, one to change it, and one to do that. So it's a very simple. How many of these sentences do you need to do? How many? As much as you can. So are you okay? I'm going back to the screen. Yeah, I hope I'm fine here. Can I see your live comments? No sound? Oh my God, at all. Oh dear. Audio? Oh dear. Can you hear me now? Now audio can hear. Thank you, Mutama Kristen, teacher. All right. So again, students and teachers, writing takes practice, and um, you cannot write short or simple ideas to get your A's. This today's topic is to score your A. All of us can write essays, but when we talk about scoring an A, you're talking about the extra factors must be there. The X factors must be there. Okay, what's next? Once you have the sentences done, you've got the words done, you read a lot, you get the style. So what are you going to read about? What are you going to read about? Okay. Next thing is the twist. Your story must attract the examiner's interest. There must be a sense of maturity. There must be some kind of plus, minus, compare, contrast, and an unexpected factor as the ending or in the character. So we're going to change the characters now. We're going to do twists. Teachers and students, this is something that I've always been doing with my students. If it's boring, I want a change. I want a difference. So how do you make it different? Let's change, let's different. I keep asking them to give me a different angle, a different perspective, a different characteristic, a different behavior. Okay, so for example, a teacher, a normal teacher that you know, describe a teacher for me. Can you put in the chat room? Describe a teacher in a comment. How would you describe a teacher's character? I'm just using teachers. I haven't even gone to a beggar or a CEO, but I want a teacher first. Something that's close to you. What is a good teacher? Something that you like, a teacher that you, a characteristic of a teacher. How would you describe a teacher? Can you put it in the chat for a while? In a comment? I'm trying to make it interactive so that I don't just blabber on the screen alone. Anything? You get this? Can I see something on the chat? In a comment? You got this? Siti, Rusita, hi Mutama, can you, what do you see in a teacher? Give me a word or two. Then I want to twist it. No response yet. Let's try to make it interactive in the comment. How would you describe a teacher? And then a story of a teacher's life. Then we're going to twist it. We're going to twist the story. We're going to twist the character. No response. Betty? Okay. All right, never mind. So what we do is for a twist, I'm going to show you an example of a twist. Okay, when you go to a blog spot like this, you just have to key in the word twist. Okay, so a twist. In a story, let's say plot twist. Mom's the word when it comes to a family secret. Not so fast. This story is about a parentage, family. So if you're talking about, I'm your father. Who's your father? Who do you expect to be your father? Who's the last person that you expect to be your father? So if you can talk about the man next door, okay, one. So you write a story about meeting a rich man, falling in love with a rich man, an old rich man, and he turns out to be your father. The man that you fell in love with is your father. Oh God, can you imagine that? So that kind of ending. I'm your father. So let's talk about your teacher. You got your favorite biology teacher, your favorite science teacher. Somehow you click so well with him, somehow you hate him, your discipline master. And one day you found out that he is your father because long time ago your mother met a man, your mother passed away, you were brought up by your auntie. So you never knew who's your father. Nobody talked about him because your mother never didn't tell who she married when she was somewhere studying somewhere in Johor or somewhere in Singapore. So suddenly you're this new teacher in your school. How do you find out? So a twist, somebody you didn't expect to be your father. I'm your father. So who's your father? Okay, so something you didn't expect in the ending. So in the story, you talk about man from the earth, he died, and that man is actually the father. In prison for 15 years, fall in love with a young chef who found out that the younger chef is his daughter. So there are things that happen in your life that you don't know, you didn't expect, and you fall in love with you have a friend who's actually your half brother. So think of stories that people did not think of, twists that people do not expect. Okay, so this is one part of the way to make the story interesting. Let me show you what it means by that. Why is it so important? Students, read the last line in A band. It says well planned, interest aroused. So if your story is boring, normal story, you cannot be an A because there is no twist, there is no interest aroused, there is no suspense. Simple story. A simple story is a C, which is interesting but safe. Play safe. So a C is 32 to 37 marks only. Okay? All right. Twist. So we're done with twist. A negative characteristic is very useful for a student to get A. Never always think good and positive. So because the story will not be interesting enough. So you have to bring in some crime, some anger, some negative feelings in order for the story to capture the teacher's interest, the reader's interest. Okay. Next. Okay. I won't do this yet. Hold on. Hold on. English vocabulary. Okay. I'm going to do one on accidents. Okay. Accidents. Accidents is a lovely thing. It's a very good story. It's a very useful tool because if you write a story about family, there can be an accident. If you write a story about helping people, there cannot be an accident. If you're writing a story about you want to be a better person, there can always be an accident. If you are writing about a story getting lost somewhere, there can be an accident somewhere. So I'm just guessing. All right, I'm just guessing. So how do you do this? Just key in describing an accident and you have all these things. This is what I did earlier. Okay, describe stories, vocabulary for accidents into your Google. And then you have the whole thing about describing an accident. So what I'm going to do, again, teachers just pick out the words. Pick out the words. Don't do everything. Pick out what's easy. Overtaking is nice. He went through the red light. He drove straight into the oncoming traffic. So what do? Copy first. A car skidded on a wet, oily surface and the driver lost control. So something copy and then rephrase. Put it all together and write a story like this only. Copy, rewrite, change a little bit, make your story. Okay, so very simple activity. It can be done in class. It can be done as a homework. You can get your students to go online, copy a few words, a few sentences, and write a story, a short paragraph of accidents. Another part that I like to talk about is hospitals, because you can always write stories about hospitals. So, can you describe a hospital for me? What's the first word that you think of for hospital? What are the words that you think of when you talk about hospital? It's not easy, right? So just go to Google. That's all. You just need to go to Google. You write describe a hospital. And you'll be surprised that you have all kinds of words that you can write using the hospital. Setting, hospital. Entry of a hospital. Okay. What do you see in a hospital? What do you smell in a hospital? See, this is beautiful. Ambulance, nurses, paramedics, volunteers, porters, priests. Lovely. Pick out the word, write a sentence. Pick out a few words, write a sentence. Blood, cuts, bruises. So you will see that the students' vocabulary list is expanded. Teachers and students, you cannot jump into writing immediately without all these skills, without all this knowledge, without all these important aspects of writing, and these are words. Can you imagine you have the hospital and you have the word screams and cries and moans and gaps? So you are describing who is screaming. The mother giving birth, screaming away. What is she shouting at? What is she saying? Oh, it's so painful. Help me. I can't take it anymore. The baby is coming out. Oh, wow. Moans and gaps. Oh, give me my morphine. I need my medication. Nurse, help. Nurse, help. Rather than writing, you can hear a lot of noise in the hospital. People are crying. Not enough. Okay? Hisses of pain is better than moans of pain. Hisses of pain. People are talking in low voices. Why are they talking in low voices? Intercom calling out codes. It is lovely. While you're in a hospital, waiting for your turn to be called. Intercom calling out the numbers 1237, and I am at 1247. I have another 200 names. The agony of waiting in a clinic. Squeaky wheelchairs. Smell. What kind of smell do you have in a hospital? Okay, so what kind of taste do you have in a hospital? So teachers, all I did was key in the word describing a hospital, and you have all this. What do you do with it? Take it out, write a sentence, take it out, write a sentence. Give them homework. Students, you are to write a paragraph about a hospital, of a setting in a hospital. You choose, and then you pick out a few words, you write, and then you give another group to write about accidents. You give another group to write about where else? Schools, police station. Okay, so when you have all this prepared in your exercise book, in your file, in your Google classroom, upload it up. You are one step nearer to an A. Okay, done. Okay, can I see the chip? What's that? What's that symbol? Adila, Memena, Music Live. Okay, I can see a lot of the teacher is kind. The teacher is very supportive. Okay, this is where I need to hit the other word, kind and supportive. In the marking scheme, okay, in the marking scheme. Okay, in the marking scheme, it says wide and precise. So you need to change the word kind a little bit to what kind of kindness are you talking about? Supportive. Be more specific. Okay, yeah. So this is what you need to do. Thesaurus. Thesaurus. Teachers, students, the thesaurus is your best friend for the next few months. Keep using the thesaurus. 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 You need to improve the words. Okay, that's now we had the word kind. Okay, thesaurus. I'm not going for meaning or others. It's a mistake. I'm not going for. I don't want the meaning of the word kind. Okay, I want okay, thesaurus. Kind. You have compassionate. Okay, you have courteous. Okay, affectionate, humane, tolerant, courteous, understanding, simple. Okay, let's try. I like the girl who gave me the answer. The teacher is kind and supportive. Okay, there's two. All right, hold on. Remember, an A essay. Today's session is an A essay. So let's make your essay much longer and much more quality. Okay. So let's see. The teacher. I'm using all caps. A little bit too lazy. Is kind and supportive. I need to expand. I need to make it more with better words. So just now thesaurus, we have the word compassionate, we have the word considerate, we have the word you don't know the meaning, you have to look for the meaning. Okay, I'm going to use the word considerate. I'm going to use the word thoughtful, gracious. Okay, I like. Okay, let's try. So kind of supportive. Her thoughtful actions and thoughtful and gracious acts makes her my favorite person in school? Okay, but give me the details. What did she do? What kind of kindness did she do? What did she say? What did she do? Okay, thoughtful. What did she do? Okay, let's describe. Huh? There was once I was late for school. So what were you doing? What were you doing when you were late for school? Running and gasping at the door to my class. A normal teacher would say what when you are late for school? Twist, huh? Twist. A normal teacher would say, what would she say? What would she say? What would she do? Shout at you, why are you late? Huh? But this one, what did she do? What did she do? She just smiled at me and gestured to gestured what or and what and ushered me to my seat. Wow, the teacher brought you to your seat. Something you didn't expect. There was no question. There was no asking for an explanation from me. There was no request, sorry, there was no asking for an explanation. There was no request. There's a better word than asking. There was no request, there was no for an explanation from me. So here I'm putting a twist. Here I'm putting a little bit longer explanation, a little bit adding to the word kind and to the word supportive, because the word kind and supportive is still very what's the word, low in the quality of the words. So you have to play with vocabulary a lot. If you can't use, and you have to play the ideas a lot, you have to do a lot of a little bit of explanation, a little bit of dialogue in. So what were the words she said just now? Huh? What did she say to you? Johan, I hope you have had your breakfast, and we are at page 20 now. She just didn't talk about it. She was so sweet and something you didn't expect for her to say when you are late for school, for class. So a little bit of a dialogue here, a little bit of a description here, explanation. Then you will have a better sentence to describe your teacher. Okay. All right. It should be the teacher was kind and was kind. All right. Thank you. The response from who was that? The response from
Kak, hilang sudah dia. Iya. Hmm. Oke, dah sudah balik.
Sis, you hilang balik because you're live.
Saya hilang sejak bila? Sejak confirm tu. Okay, hello. Yes. Hello. We were interrupted again by the line. So allow me to continue from where I think this was. Okay. Alright. So sorry for the interruption just now. Assalamualaikum. Hi, Nazwa. Hi, everyone. All right. I will be continuing from here. This is what I've done so far. We have done like from students, so how you can some of our students are the students do not want to write stories about the things happening. You want to write factual essays. Okay? How do you organize a factual essay? You're going to use PEPs. PEP as for PEP. C stands for politics, economy, candidate, and social and individual. Hmm. I'm not sure how I'm going to get my sound here. Are you okay? Can you hear me now? Okay. Um, okay. Politics, economy, pendidikan, sosial, dan individu. So when you talk about politics, um, it's about the world, the country, the nation. When you talk about economy, you talk about how money is, how to involve money, whether it's cheap, if it's expensive, whether it's what is economic education, pendidikan, learning, school, teachers, students. When you talk about social, you talk about relationships, people outside, family, friends, society. When you talk about individuals, talk about yourself physically, outside, appearance, and talk about individuals inside. So these are just triggers to generate ideas. Right? When we talk about an ASA, you need to be well organized, you need to be well these are the words they use in a meeting speech. Well organized, well developed. See the word well planned, interesting, okay? Structured, very well structured. So when you talk about an A, so this is what we do. Let's see. Are we okay, DT? Can you hear me now? Okay, when you talk about politics, you talk about social problems, what's happening in the world. So you can talk about illegal, illegal, illegal racing, you can talk about truancy, you can talk about skipping schools, loitering, voting, These are things that's happening. There's social problems. You can talk about clubbing. Okay, these are things that are bad that's happening in our world. Ideas. You're thinking of ideas, how things are happening around us. So when you talk about problems, when you talk about social problems, young people, social ills, economically, we talk about young people, they want money, young people, they want expensive things, so they start stealing, they start skip working instead of studying, you know. So these are things that trigger ideas because things are expensive now, things are, you need to buy the things. Alright, we talk about pendidikan, we talk about young problems, which are student problems. In other words, related to pendidikan, to education. So you have things like you learn. Where did they learn to do all the bad things? They learn from the internet. Where did they learn to? Do they learn the language? And they don't want to go to school because it's full of bullies. And they learn to look in school. You have problems even in the primary school level. So these are words talking about school. These are all the social problems, words that trigger. So you can organize another paragraph. Social relationship, social the relation pattern. So you talk about family, friends. So when you talk about friends, you talk influence from friends. What do they influence you? You talk about family, the broken family, social problems. The topic is social problems. So when you have the word S, society, it means family, it means friends. And these are the things that trigger your mind. Maybe they're poor in the family, the neighborhood, the kind of neighborhood that you live in, the influence of the neighbors, the neighbors, the drop outs, and that hanging around. So when you have all those things, it triggers more message. We talk about social problems, social issues. You also have your individual self. So sometimes you talk about yourself physically, sometimes you talk about beauty. So when you want to be beautiful, so the influence and mentality of the people, that beauty is, and because they want to be beautiful, they do all that thing, they do unnecessary things, they fight unnecessary things. Just because they are not beautiful, it creates another issue, low self-esteem. So these are triggers. We talk about physical, we talk about emotions, and it leads to social problems. The other topic is social skills and young people. Step C, PEP is like organizes your thoughts into different paragraphs and allows you to develop your essays to at least 5 paragraphs, one more for introduction, one more for conclusion, and you have easily 7 paragraphs of at least 7 and 50 is 350. I'm sure you're able to write more than 350 words, more than 50 words per paragraph, with examples, with details, with the vocabulary, with the complex sentences. You can easily keep 350 words in a well-organized paragraphing or argumentative or non-narrative stories, essays, exploratory essays. Okay. Teacher, cut clear. Yeah, cut clear. Breaking and voice correct pause. Sorry about that. I can't do much about the line. We will try to get a better line in the future. Okay, alright. So next, coming to the end of the presentation. After Pepsi, we have the Pegawai sense of time. So I mean by that, in your essay, there must be details. You must be able to describe. You must be able to use the dialogue, explain, and emotion. It just show and not tell. Show and not tell is what I already explained earlier. In your essay, don't just tell me about your hospital, you must show me the actions in hospital at Inggeris. Okay, for today's session, I won't be touching on this. No discussion something today. So, ladies, boys and girls, is paper one more important than paper two? Yeah. But what happens to your paper two? Do you get a minimum of 50 or 60 marks? Is it enough for you to do it? The full mark of paper two is 70 marks. So what do you normally get? You type in your chat column, you get 60 or do you get 55 or do you get 70? What do you normally get for paper two? Can you read? Can you hear me? So sad, can you hear? Line up here, I'm trying hard to figure out who she's trying to share. Poor thing. It's truly sad indeed. Can you write in the chat column what do you normally get for paper two? And what do you normally get for your essay? Not clear at all, teacher. What do you normally get for your essay? What do you normally get for your paper two? Not clear. Fine. Okay, I'm going to show this. Right. An A essay is 38, a B essay is 38. Normally you get 30 for your essay. Okay, can you see this? It's 30 for your essay. Now, if you get 2 marks for your directed writing, I'm starting directed writing today, and you get 2 content marks, you get 18 for your, you get 30. You get 78. 30 is a B. So let's hit the 32 for your essay. 32. So at 79, you're still not an A. So if you're a C essay, you will not get an A if your paper 2 is 58. So students, can you hear me? Your novel, you're getting 7 marks, which is not so good marks. Let's go to 8 for your novel. So you're already an A. Poems, you get 4 marks. Section B, you get 4 marks. Your section A, you're at 12 marks. So imagine if you get 13 for section A. Reading comprehension, you didn't get 4 marks. Let's try to get 8. Leave it at 8. Summary, you found all your content. You are still only an 82. Your paper 2 is 62. So how are you going to get higher than 82? So look at your marking scheme. The B is 38 to 43. So let's go to 38. 38 means you have accurate language, not much grammatical error. You have varied sentences. Your essay is well planned. How do you do? So you still 86 and 2. Can you make this a 90? Bring your novel up to 9. Bring your reading comprehension up to 10. You're at 65. You're at 88. You're still not an A. Bring the essay up to 40. You're at 89. You need it. Bring your paper. Your section is 14. You're at 80. 90. So paper 2, you must be at least a 65 to 66. And your essay, a good essay, and you will be a good. Okay? Can you hear me? Okay. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying is that paper 2 to be an A or A plus, you must pay at least 65. Okay, so I guess from the line that is not so clear today, I will have to cut the session a little bit shorter so that we will see how it can be improved in the future. Maybe I will have to redo my session a little bit for you so that you get a proper line. And with this, I would like to end my session, and I hope that you can actually um, put some comments there for me so that I can figure out how I can help you guys to make people to do a better essay than what they can do. Thank you very much. So, to all the students and teachers, I do apologize for the line that is not working so well here. I don't know if it's actually wrong. Maybe it's on my side. So, what I will do with the digital is we will reschedule, maybe do a little bit of recording, which will be easier than rather than live. So when we record, we can actually get it directly. So, ladies and students, I wish you all the best. I hope what I've shared with you um, will be used, and do contact me if I need to re-explain to you. Okay? So, back to you, Pegawai. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, I'm very sorry for the interruption, especially in the link. Thank you again, Norlina, for the sharing have given for us this afternoon. Thanks also for the students and the teachers who are joining our online sharing today. Hope to see you again for our next online workshop. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe PPD Toran channel for more info and interesting education sharing. Again, as the team of the technical, we apologize for the problem. Hopefully to see you again for the next session. Okay, that's only. Sorry. Bye bye. Okay, because it looks actually our session for today from our penceramah from PPD Petaling Perdana, and then we are here at PPD Tuaran Sabah. So both location I think have some internet problems, so that's why we cannot proceed our workshop for this afternoon. Again, really sorry for the problem. We will try our best to reschedule the workshop for today with Madam Norlina in uh, uh, in the other, maybe in YouTube, or maybe in Facebook, or maybe in what this one, in the other platform. So kindly please follow us. We will give the information in our Facebook page. So please do refer the further information there. Okay, thanks again for keep following us for this session, and see you again.